What's good, neighborhood? So, it's Thursday. We're coming up on the end of our broadcast week, and hey, it's about that time. It's March 20th, and we are back with another revival of a classic, or should I say, another revival of a favorite, especially here on the channel. So, a while back when I had my Wii U, and also another time when I was actually emulating it, uh, I sat down and tried to play and tried to stream Xenoblade Chronicles Cross. Uh, that's twice that I had actually attempted going through the game here on stream, and twice that I was just unfortunately unable to get anything done on it, or at least anything substantive, because, after a while, other games come out, or I just hit a point where I get stuck. But with the definitive edition out today, yes, I did go and buy physical. We're gonna sit. Basically, we're gonna sit down. We're gonna get through the next few hours. We're gonna get through the first few hours of the game, and the plan is just to have a blast. So, if you've been wanting to check the game out, or at the very least, want to come back to Ace's place and revisit an old favorite, y'all know what to do. Pull up a chair, kick up your feet, make yourselves comfy. Just remember to leave your shoes at the front door so we don't get any footprints on the tile, the carpet, or the furniture. And with all that said, all that out of the way, let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up. It's game time. Ahem. There we go. Andre, good to see you, buddy. How has the day been treating you? Did you pick up Kazan? Oh, wait, that's right. Kazan's on the 27th. I'm sorry. Nice. Okay. I definitely get where you're coming from, man. I feel that. I feel that. Drop the link in the Discord, man. Definitely want to check that out once I'm done here. Mm-hmm. Oh, it absolutely was, without question. Which is why I'm glad to finally see that this game isn't stuck on the Wii U anymore.
July 2054 AD. The Earth was caught in a great battle between unknown alien forces. Their weapons were terrifying and powerful beyond human reckoning. Our planet was overwhelmed, its surface reduced to ash and rubble in the blink of an eye. The Coalition government knew the war was coming. In response, they prepared the Earth-like colonization project, Project Exodus. Interstellar arcs were launched all across the planet, from every major city on Earth. Bravely, we leapt from our cradle, our home for the last 4.5 billion years. But most of the arcs never even made it out of the atmosphere. Only a small handful managed to escape. Among them was our ship, the White Whale. After leaving Earth behind, we spent 2 years wandering in space, searching. We thought of ourselves as the lucky ones, the pioneers who would settle a new world. But our past caught up with us. Literally. The alien race was unrelenting. If not for the efforts of a lone hero, we would never have survived. Our ship took heavy damage. We lost control. With our flight systems down, the White Whale was pulled into the gravitational field of a nearby planet, its hull shattering and breaking to pieces as we plummeted toward the surface. Since then, 2 months have passed.
You know, from a couple of the screenshots that I had been seeing for Novocaine, yeah, it really does. He really does look like freaking Max Payne. Should I start with wife? Should I start Wifewood first? Nah. Sorry, I gotta lean forward a little bit because the glare from the green lights, kind of fucking up my view of the monitor. if I absolutely wanted to, I could make my character look like freaking Self from Final Fantasy VIII. Yo! Just look, Andre.
They staggered me. Huh? Ready and willing. They staggered me. Huh? Hey there. Hey there. Hey there.
Huh? Come on. I'll do what I can to help.
Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Easy peasy. Rock and roll.
Greetings. Ready?
Hey there. I've been staggered. It's nice to be wanted.
Shall we? Right, let's do this. Shall we?
Let's do this. Here I come, sunshine.
Got it. I gotta go with Yuri.
Attention, external access confirmed. Disengaging stasis in 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing hatch. Please stand clear.
Hey there. Looks like you're all in one piece. Careful. Just take it nice and slow, okay? Your senses will need time to reactivate.
Hey, what's
Your
good,
pod
chap?
is the only one around that landed intact. Good thing I found you. My name's Elma. You want to tell me yours? You don't even remember your own name? It must be the stasis hangover. That's not good. Just try and focus, all right? Good, there we go. What else you remember? It'll come. In the meantime, I'll get you up to speed here as best I can. How are your limbs? Can you move? We'll take it easy while you shake the stasis out of your system. One step at a time, all right? First things first. You'll be needing a weapon. There you go. All right, let's get going.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. If you're ever stumped about where to go next, be sure to check any nearby places marked with the exclamation tag.
Most of the white whale's life pods didn't survive the crash, like this one. You're one of the lucky few. Right. You don't even remember the white whale, do you? You know, the L-002? The ship we escaped Earth on? You remember Earth, right? Planet Earth. Your homeworld. Or rather, it used to be anyway. Unfortunately, it was caught in a battle between two alien forces. And destroyed.
And it's still so...
Ring any bells?
It's still so wild, just any sort of story that actually shows
Don't feel bad.
Earth being
It's one
destroyed
memory
is just...
I'd like to forget.
I don't know, it always hits different.
I know. It's been following me for a while now. I didn't want to alarm you, but we're going to need to defend ourselves. You up to the task?
Time to party.
All right, it's on.
Let's seek engaging. Lay down some fire for me. Sliding slinger.
Assault hammer! Flame grenade! Didn't see that coming. Gun him down.
You're not half bad. There's plenty of work back in the city for someone who knows how to handle a weapon, you know. Then you're interested. In that case, I might have just the job for you. But anyway, we can talk more details later. For now, let's keep moving.
what's good, Blue? Oh, you said they re-recorded the dialogue? Honestly, I wasn't expecting that. It's nice that they did. Yeah, I gotta help the game sound as fresh as it looks, right?
All right. I feel like a new man. All right, it's on.
Let's see what you've got.
Here's a good spot. Open fire!
Target in sight! Shadow strike! Appendage destroyed. Move in and
Okay.
strike!
Here comes the pain! Fate dealt us these cards, so we have to play them.
That's right. Remember that strength.
Yeah, I think I saw something for System Shock 2 on the Discord.
We can do this!
Let's see what you... They're off guard. Stagger them with a melee attack.
I'll send them for a loop!
Slide! Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike. Scream edge!
Open fire! Follow me!
Target in sight!
Here's a good spot. Open fire! All right, it's on.
Engaging. Lay down some fire for me.
Let's see him chew on this.
Shadow strike. Slide nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay, here comes the pain.
Okay, I'm slowly getting back into the swing of this.
Victory is ours.
Nice work.
We can do this.
Let's see what you've got. Shadow strike. Slide. Slinger.
Assault hammer. Blast them before they get up. Flame grenade.
Never move in and strike. Nice work.
There we go.
All right, it's on.
Let's see. They're off guard. Stagger them with a melee attack.
I'll send them for a loop.
Slide! Fling 'em! Scream edge! Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here comes the pain.
Upper hand.
You didn't see that coming.
I'll top
Go,
them.
the victory is ours.
Nice work.
Open fire. Follow me.
Target in sight. Scream edge. Shadow strike. Slide nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay, here comes the pain. All right, feel like a new man. Open fire. Follow me.
Target in sight. Nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay, here comes the pain. Open fire. Follow me.
Target in sight. Shadow strike. It can't move. Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here comes the pain. What?
Slide nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay, here comes the pain.
That's not.
Shadow strike.
Team never loses.
We got it. Let's move.
Gotta be something new. Oh yeah, the music in this game is just downright fantastic.
We have no choice but to fight.
They're off guard. Stagger with a melee attack.
I'll send them for a loop.
Sliding.
Now, close in and clean up. Assault hammer!
Watch out. Slide nice. Move in and do some damage. Scream edge.
Okay, here comes the pain.
Shadow strike.
Flame grenade!
Upper hand. Slide.
He never loses.
Nice work.
And yeah, just thinking back,
the
like you
rain's
said.
starting to let up, just in time for sunrise.
Well, like you said, Andre, this game is...
Follow me. I promise you're gonna love this.
This game visually is just amazing. Wait a minute. Don't tell me they changed up the music, though. 'Cause there was... Where's the main theme at? This is not the song that plays during this scene.
Pretty wild, huh? They're all indigenous, as far as we can tell. We need to learn to play nice with these guys if we're going to try and coexist together. We call this planet Mira. You won't find it on any star chart. But it's our new home.
Or maybe I'm
Recognize the
thinking of a different
habitat
scene.
unit? That's where we're headed. Watch yourself. That first step's a doozy. We can jump if you like. You could handle the fall. But the indigents down there are another story. Some big, some mean, all nasty. Given our options, the high road here would be the safer way to go, relatively speaking. That said, whichever way you want to go, I'll follow your lead. You decide.
Well, that's neat. Okay, so that's where we go. Okay, we got zoom on the mini-map. Got the aerial cam, which is really freaking neat.
Sir!
All right, it's on.
Let's see what you've got. Engaging. Lay down some fire for me.
chew on this.
Slide now! Melee attack!
Okay, here comes the pain.
Slide! Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here comes this team never loses.
We got it. Let's move.
We can do this.
Let's see what you've got. Shadow strike! Slide!
Yes. Now get in close.
Now it's my turn.
This team never loses.
Nice work.
Almost there. Give me strength.
Oh, and Monster Hunter Wilds? Yeah, the bow. The bow is something else entirely, man.
Open fire. Follow me.
Target in sight. Shadow strike. Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here comes the pain.
Slide. Slinger. Nice. Move in and do some damage.
All right, it's on.
Let's see what you've got. Shadow strike. Sliding slinger. Sliding slinger. Nice force. Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here comes the pain. Punch it down. Close in and clean up. Flame grenade. Victory is ours.
Nice work.
Alright, already picking up some relatively solid weapons.
Open fire. Follow me.
Target in sight. Shadow strike. Use an aura. Get control of the battle. Sliding.
Now, close in and clean up. Hey, no pushing. Here's a good spot. Open fire.
Alright. Let's keep it going.
Open fire. Follow me.
Target in sight. Shadow strike. Some nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay, here comes the pain. Assault hammer.
Early bird.
right, it's on.
Let's see what you've got. Shadow Strike! Sliding Slinger! Side Flash! Early Bird! Slinger!
Now, close in and clean up.
Sliding Slinger!
I need healing.
I should heal up first. Shadow
Hey,
Strike!
no pushing.
Nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay.
Side Flash!
Hey! Victory is ours.
I never imagined this is where life was going to take me.
Alright, let's give you a chance to heal up real quick. Also, alright, let's get going.
We can do this.
Let's see what you've got.
Yes. Now get in close.
Now it's my turn.
Slinger. Now,
Slide
close in and clean
Slinger.
up.
Now it's my turn.
Okay. Here comes the
Side
pain.
Flash. Side Flash. Upper hand. Pendant destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay. Here comes the pain.
Slide axe. Move in and do some damage.
Hey, no pushing.
Shadow Strike. Pendant destroyed. Move in and strike.
That's a done deal. Give me all your lunch money. And fuck off, bot. Yeah, this game does have different weapon classes.
All right, it's on.
Let's see what you've got.
Once we actually get into the city, I'll show you.
Slide Slinger. Scream Edge.
Didn't see that coming. Gun him down.
Shadow Strike. Side Flash. Curly Bird.
Who's next? None can stand against us.
Slinger.
Flame grenade. Assault hammer.
Now, melee attacks.
Okay. Here comes the pain. Did it. I need
I should
healing.
heal up first. Suck nice. Move in and do some damage. Slide Slinger.
Yes. Now get in close.
Now,
Victory
my
is
turn.
ours.
We got it. Let's move.
Quick with the guns and cannons. Stand in as long as you can.
We're getting pretty close.
Open fire! Follow me!
Oh. It hit nighttime.
All right. Feel like a new man.
Looks a lot bigger up close, doesn't it? And this was just the habitat unit. The white whale was one hell of a ship. Until it all came crashing down, at least. That's the west gate. It's closed off now for security reasons. But we've repurposed a freight elevator that will get us inside. Rexes. Riled.
Let's get to it.
We can't leave them roaming here, not this close to the gate. We're gonna have to take them down. You ready?
All right, doggos. Let's go.
Did they see us? Open fire! Follow me!
Target in sight! Shadow strike!
Okay, here comes the pain!
Hostile neutralized. Switch to close range combat.
Don't worry, I'm all over it.
Pendants destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here
Early
comes
bird.
the pain!
Slide ice. Move in and do some damage. Now,
Flame
melee
grenade.
attacks.
Okay, here
Shadow
comes the
strike.
pain! Yes, now get in close!
Upper hand. Side slash.
Assault hammer!
Got it.
It's a shame we had to settle near so much wildlife. Luckily, some species aren't so hostile, but they aren't necessarily friendly either. I've come to learn that there's a fine line between self-defense and provoking a fight. We need to walk that line. All right, let's head in. Who knows? Maybe seeing the inside will jog your memory.
Here we go. I'll probably start off going with the going from Drifter class to Commando.
Open fire! Follow me! Huh?
Sliding Slinger! Shadow Strike! Side blast!
Hammer! Blast them before they get up!
Scream Edge!
Flame grenade! Victory is ours!
Nice work.
Here we go. That's the good stuff.
Open fire! Follow me!
Target in sight! Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike!
Okay, here comes the pain! Yes! Now get in close! This team never loses!
We got him. Let's move.
Thanks.
That's right. Go out around this way. And is this where we meet Lynn? Here's the music I was talking about. Okay, so it was this scene. Never mind. Still, the title card scene in this game is so hype.
Well, here we are. Not too shabby, huh? For a giant beach spaceship, anyway. But, like it or not, this place is our home now. We took the name from the city it was modeled after back on Earth. We call it New Los Angeles. Welcome to NLA.
And so it was that another survivor came to join our band of refugees. Together, we resolved to forge a new way of life here on Mira. New LA is a beautiful lie to ourselves. Truth is, we were adrift, heading into the unknown. Our native home was gone, swallowed in a shroud of light. And our future was uncertain. We had no idea what fate lay in store for us. Only that we had to keep living in order to see it.
seriously, all this is like. Not only am I so excited to get back into this game, but I'm also now just really hankering for that, hankering for that Xenogears remaster. But it's after 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take our first intermission. I need to get up, take a quick bathroom break. Y'all should probably do the same too. Get yourselves a snack. Come right back. Y'all know the drill. We got more Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition coming up after this. Alrighty. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. So here we go. First save of many.
How about a quick tour of the facilities to refresh your memory? Let's start with your living quarters. Follow me.
Brave citizens of New Los Angeles, good day. This is your Director General, Maurice Chausson. Today, I once again come to you with news I am truly delighted to share. Yesterday, we repatriated 10 more White Whale crew members. These fellow pioneers will rejoin our ranks as citizens of NLA, bringing with them skills and know-how that will bolster our ability to survive and indeed flourish here in our new home. This, of course, is only the latest success in our continuing efforts.
Director
As
General?
part of my
Since
initiative
when?
For the rescue and recovery of
2 days
all
ago,
our
ma'am.
brothers and sisters, I stand here truly humbled and
From
grateful.
political aid to director general in just a few weeks. At this rate, he'll be emperor by next month.
And a better tomorrow.
Irina? Gwyn?
Nice work out there, ma'am.
Right. Introductions. Irina Akulov, Gwyn Evans.
This one of the survivors, Colonel?
The survivor. I only found a single pod intact at Starfall Basin.
Wait, what? What happened to 10 more crew members?
Come on, seriously? Chausson was never one to let the truth get in the way of a good speech. Still, every last survivor counts. You can call me Irina. I'm with the Interceptors.
Me too. Same division. You can call me Mr. Evans. Or just Gwyn.
The three of us were in the Coalition forces together. Specifically, the Special Operations Heavy Armor Training Unit, aka the Skeleton Crew. I was a colonel and Irina a lieutenant. Gwyn was a more recent recruit. Of course, I keep telling them we don't need those old ranks anymore now that we're here.
You're still Colonel to me, ma'am. No reorg will ever change that. And that's not about chain of command either. It's about respect. You've earned it.
And the award for best ass kiss goes to...
Oh, shut it.
Well, I'd remind you both the ma'ams aren't necessary if I thought you'd listen.
All right, ma'am. We should be getting back to work. Until next time, Colonel.
Right. We should be going too. The administrative district isn't far. That's where you'll be calling home. For now, anyway.
All right. Okay, so check this out. Like the Drifter, that's the class that your character starts with. You know, they're basically, kind of a jack of all trades as far as like, the different types of skills that they can learn. And you start with, just a knife and assault rifle. But then when you actually like spec into one of the advanced classes, that's when you start getting to some of the other weapons. Oh, the Striker is, I guess you could say, more of a, more of your basic skirmisher class, They're the ones that basically go in and, like leading the vanguard. That's where you get access to the longsword and the, the longsword and the rifle. And then beyond that, you have two more advanced groups that split off from the Striker Advanced class. Samurai Gunner and Shield Trooper. Samurai Gunner is definitely, more offense damage oriented, and that's where you get the longsword, which master, prestige classes. So there's advanced, master, and then your prestige class. So prestige class for the Samurai Gunner is the duelist. Pretty much, even more damaging and more element focused skills. And of course, once you hit rank 10 in the prestige class, then you master that class's weapons, which means you can use those weapons in other classes. Shield troopers have, tower shields basically as a melee weapon, but also, they've got better defenses and they use Gatling guns for their range. All the commandos use dual swords and, dual guns. Basically, that's the class that Elma effectively started out with. And that goes into the Winged Viper and the class that Elma is currently, the Full Metal Jaguar. But you can instead go from the Commando to the Partisan Eagle, which, uses, javelins and sniper rifles. So basically, Partisan Eagle and Astral Crusader, think Dragoon. And then you got your Enforcers, which are support characters. Ooh, excuse me. But we can go more in depth in the classes at a later point. But I go through the different classes to say, yes, there are different weapons that you can use in this game, and each of the advanced, master, and prestige classes specialize in those other weapons. So depending on what your playstyle is, or what playstyle you want to go for, what kind of build you want to go for, that'll determine what class you're in. Level 1 and 2.
Look, I know what exhaust smells like, and it was exhaust in the cockpit. Just check the ductwork, would ya?
Oh, I'm checking. I just seriously doubt... Hey, look at that! The intake exhaust bypass is reversed. Oh man, it's a good thing I caught that.
You caught that? You're the one who cleared me to fly.
Everything okay? It's not like you to flub a flight check, Lynn. Good thing you had a rugged pilot like Doug at the controls.
Oh, hey Elma. How'd it go out there? And would this be one of the you-know-whos? Cool. I'm Lynn Lee Koo, mechanic and top all-around fix-it gal for Blade. Yeah, well that, doesn't usually happen.
We know it doesn't, Lynn. Look, I know what you're thinking. But believe me, young as she may look, and yes, she is young, she's actually one of our top talents.
Most of the time, that is. Most of the time.
Anyway, you guys heading back to the barracks?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
As long as you're here, why don't I take you on the transport? It's a great way to see the city. I'll give you the grand tour.
That sounds like a great idea.
All right, Doug, I think that'll be all for today. You can clean up here and dock the Skell.
What?
Don't mind the exhaust. I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Don't mind it? Wait, why am I cleaning up your mess in the first place? Lynn! Lynn!
Excuse me.
Hey!
Oh, Evan, just saw your message over there in the chat. Good to see you.
Not bad, huh? You can see everything from up here.
It beats walking, that's for sure.
The best way to see NLA. I never get tired of this view. It's like a different city every time.
It's certainly come a long way in the last few weeks. There's still so much to be done.
One day at a time.
Speaking of which, we don't really have time for a full pleasure cruise here. Why don't you give us the express tour, Lynn? Just the highlights.
Okay, you got it. New LA is divided into 4 districts. We departed from the industrial district, where Doug and I were conducting the flight test. It has food production, skill development, you know, industries and stuff.
It's also where the West Gate is located, remember? Expect to pass through there fairly often. The only other gate out of the city is in the administrative district. I'm skipping ahead.
Next is the commercial district. Restaurants, galleries, cafes, clothing, groceries, you name it. It's a veritable shopping paradise.
The CD is the closest thing to a downtown we've got. It can actually get pretty crowded sometimes.
Well, by NLA standards anyway.
I was about to say, which song was it? Was it Uncontrollable?
To your right, the residential district. Housing, housing, and more housing. Well, plus a nice park and the cathedral.
If you're ever looking for quiet time alone, or want to relax and unwind with a good book, that's the spot.
Right? The park is my favorite place to just zone out and chill. And last but not least, our destination, the administrative district, the nerve center at the heart of NLA. Note the distinct dual-level structure here. The upper level holds our administrative tower, home to Blade HQ and the government. Not to mention Armory Alley, as well as the barracks where we live. The lower level there is a hangar complex for Skell maintenance and repairs. And this concludes our tour. We will be landing shortly.
Thanks, Lynn. We'll save the rest of orientation for once we're back at the barracks.
Yeah, honestly, as a setting, NLA really does have that sort of... It's got that sort of cozy vibe. You know, like you actually could see yourself living there.
Enjoy your stay in the administrative district, and thank you for flying Lindley Airlines.
Right. Let's get you over to the barracks. Then I should file my report. They'll be eager to hear the details on how I found you, I'm sure.
Well then, we better not keep them waiting. The barracks are pretty close, actually. They're set up just behind the giant blade tower here. That road there wraps around the left side and leads right to it.
We'll pass through Armory Alley, but let's not get sidetracked, okay? We can check it out later.
Ah, Armory Alley. Looking forward to spending a lot of time there. And eventually get my hands on one of those bad boys.
Hey!
What? Well...
here we are at Ye Old Barracks.
And here we are, the Blade Barracks. Consider yourself our guest until we finish getting you registered. Feel free to come and go as you please.
I think I can answer that one. So, you must be the latest rescue.
Secretary Nagi!
Miss Koo. Chipper as always, I see.
What can I say? Pep is my middle name.
I ran into Doug Barrett on the way here, and he didn't seem quite so upbeat. Anything about today's flight I should know?
No. Nothing to worry about.
Good. Be sure it stays that way. More importantly, Elma, you found another one. Excellent work out there.
Just doing my job, Mr. Secretary.
Now, as for officially registering our new citizen here...
Why don't we talk inside? There's a lot of ground to cover. It could take some time.
Ah yes, of course. Forgive me. You must be weary from the stasis and your journey back to us. Please, after you.
I'll put on some tea.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 13's locales really do hold up pretty damn well, even this long after the game's release.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kentaro Nagi. You may remember me as Captain of the White Whale, but now I serve as Secretary of Defense here for New LA. The provisional government has charged me with keeping the peace, so all military and police matters fall under my jurisdiction.
He's also my superior officer. And he'd be an excellent person to talk to when you're ready to start looking for work.
What about a job right here with Blade? He seems capable.
Let's give it a little more time. At least until he knows enough to be able to make an informed decision. He seems to be suffering from some form of memory loss.
Memory loss? From the stasis?
He could barely remember his name, and nothing at all about what happened to Earth or the White Whale.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
I
Good to see you, Warden.
Though, come to think of it, the entire lot of us have only been on this planet for what, 2 months? It shouldn't take very long to get caught up.
My thoughts exactly.
Well then, where should we begin? It started at the end, 2 years ago. The end of Earth. The casualty of a battle between two hyper-advanced alien civilizations. Their technology and weapons were beyond our comprehension. We were like infants, naked, powerless. The Earth was reduced to ash and blown away.
I still wonder if I hadn't been there. If maybe all of this could have somehow been avoided.
No one can know that, Elma. What we do know is without you, there'd have been no Project Exodus, and no escape for any of us. Did it go perfectly? No. But we are here, and we are alive. We survived. So yes, Project Exodus. Once we learned the Earth might be threatened, we needed a plan to preserve all her various life forms. That plan was the Earth Life Colonization Project, otherwise known as Project Exodus.
Oh, still thinking back to last night, how I just went and punched out that
Those of us who
that
escaped on the
tempered
White
raid
Whale
out with
spent
sword
over
and
2
shield.
years wandering in space. 2 hard years. But we clung to our mission. Find a habitable planet and settle there. We had no idea how long it would take. Or that the decision would eventually be made for us.
The xenoforms found us again, and, well, it wasn't a happy reunion. Earth wasn't enough. They wanted humanity destroyed. For better and for worse, we were close to planet Mira when we lost control of the White Whale. Inertia and gravity took it from there.
The ship had taken way too much damage to survive entering the atmosphere intact. We had no choice. We channeled all the power we had left to soft land the habitat. Once the dust cleared, we set to work transforming it into its current state. Searching for survivors, establishing Blade, installing the provisional government. Basically, making it a sustainable city.
Blade is an acronym. Builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth. Quite fitting, I think. It's a relatively new organization. Up there in space, we had plenty of provisions, and a crew trained to handle the limited amount of situations we might encounter in our travels. But of course, all that changed after we lost most of our ship and came crashing down here on Mira. We needed food, water, search and rescue teams, surveyors, police. The list goes on and on. It was too much for the provisional government to manage on its own, so Blade was born. The idea was to have one central organization with different disciplines to fill these various roles. Its core was pulled from the Coalition military, so it's mostly former soldiers. But fighting isn't our most important duty. Right now, we have a single top priority that supersedes all others. The search for and recovery of the Lifehold.
Take a look at this. The White Whale was designed to carry an exceedingly large number of passengers, all of them held in stasis. All housed in a structure called the Lifehold. This is a complete schematic of that facility. Only essential personnel were conscious and active for the journey from Earth. The flight crew, maintenance engineers. And of course, some military so we could defend ourselves if necessary. But the vast majority were in the Lifehold. Are in the Lifehold. With any luck, they're all still there, in stasis, waiting to be rescued. But there's a problem. We now know the Lifehold broke apart along with the rest of the ship when we came down on Mira. What we don't know is exactly where all the pieces landed. Not very comforting, I know. Blade's top priority now is locating the missing units.
So it's like Olimar trying to get his ship back together in Pikmin. Let's ask about registration.
Yes. All citizens of NLA are required to register their name, age, and occupation. We also ask you report any personal assets and take a short survey regarding your current state of health. All purely as a precaution. I'm sure you understand. As the caretakers of humanity's survival, we all have certain responsibilities.
And hey, it's not all bad. Registering gets you access to all kinds of public services.
In any case, I'm sure this is all a lot to digest. You'll be wanting some time. Ms. Ku, even I'm tired of hearing myself speak. Why don't you take our guest out for some air? Perhaps a tour of the administrative district.
Yes, sir. Come on, we'll keep this briefing brief.
Okay. Oof, man.
You know, it's not every day we're authorized to let a civilian tour the administrative district.
Yeah. Nagi must really, really want him to join Blade.
The AD is a bit different from the other districts. It's got everything a Blade would need, all in one place, without any extra fluff.
Get a load of that skill. Even the way that they walk is so cool. Oh yeah, work it, baby.
Oh, Christ. This girl is over here gooning over mechs.
What? You don't remember what a skell is? That gorgeous exoskeleton that just went by? Basically like the most incredible, awesomest super weapons ever? Lasers, force fields, bipedal and vehicular transformations. Sorry, I get so excited whenever I think about it.
Originally, scales were developed as a defensive measure to counter potential alien threats. It wasn't enough to save Earth, though. We were outnumbered and outgunned.
They didn't have any Omni gears. That's why.
Still, just look around you. New LA has gone from basically nothing to this in just 2 short months. We could never have come so far, so fast, without Skell technology. I'd love to get you into one to see for yourself, but it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, duh. For one thing, only Blades are allowed to pilot Skells. And even then, you need a license.
These aren't toys we're talking about. They're complex machines with powerful weapons. And they're a precious resource. We only have so many of them to go around. So yes, as you might imagine, the certification process is a fairly rigorous one.
I'm sure you're thinking, where do I sign up for the test? But it's not that simple. They
Well,
choose
I know
you,
it took-
not the other way around. You can't just walk in the front door and volunteer.
I know it took a while to
There is some
to take care
criteria.
of back in the Wii
The
U
details
version.
are largely
They
hidden,
might have
but
streamlined it
basically
here.
HQ only allows the cream of the crop to take the test. Blades who go above and beyond in their duties and for the people of New LA in general.
So what do you say? If you become a Blade and work hard, I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they tap you on the shoulder.
Speaking of work, that reminds me. Why don't we check out the mission control board first? That's where we take on our assignments.
Good call. Let's head on over. So this is mission control. We don't have a dispatch system yet, so Blades usually choose their own assignments. Everyone comes here and selects from the missions available on the board.
And it's not just official Blade tasks. Anyone with a request is free to post here. Businesses, citizens, whoever.
Yeah, it's basically how anything gets done in New LA, so the board is constantly updating. Just about every Blade will stop by here at some point in their shift.
It's like our second home. You'll always find a number of Blades around here, blowing off steam or browsing mission control for their next assignment.
Whenever I get freed up, I'll stop here first thing to check for any missions I might be suited for.
Likewise. And if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo, that's what the Scout console is for. We should show you that next.
Hey, who's giving this tour anyway? We also have the Scout console, if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo. And Elma just said that, didn't she?
Yep.
Hey!
the Blade Scout Console. When the going gets tough, the tough go to the Scout Console. You know, to get tougher.
If you do end up joining us, you'll quickly realize just how important this little kiosk is. A lot of the mission control assignments are too much for any one blade to handle. They tend to call for multiple members with specialized knowledge or unique skills. This console lets you search for and recruit other blades to fill those roles for just such an occasion.
You can't spell blade without team. Sorta. Anyway, awesome, right? So, you ready to join up?
Hang on, Lynn. Take it easy, would you?
What? I'm just saying you'd have to be some kind of an idiot not to want to join Blade. Or maybe a crazy person.
Hey.
Oh, and here I thought you might be pressuring our guest.
Apology accepted. Now, how about a little shopping? And I'm not talking about the stuff over in the commercial district. I'm talking about Armory Alley.
Hey.
So this street's what we call Armory Alley.
Blades can requisition equipment from any of the vendors here.
I won't lie. Most Blade members face danger on a daily basis. Having the latest gear isn't about impressing your friends. It's a matter of survival.
True enough. And that goes not only for your personal armor and weapons, what we call ground gear, but for skell equipment as well.
You can even buy whole skells. Can you imagine owning your own skell?
What's going on with the Onimusha 2 remaster?
Right, the tour. I think all that's left is the heart of Blade itself. Blade Tower.
Oh, what?
Hey!
So yeah, Blade Tower. When we come here, it's usually to stop by Blade HQ. The higher-ups, like Secretary Nagi and Commander Vandam, will spend most of their day here. The government leaders, too. They're based in the tower. Guys like our new Director General Maurice Chosan, for example.
Blades sometimes report to the leadership here after we finish key assignments. You'll want to remember this place.
And that about does it for our tour. So, what do you think? Pretty amazing setup, right? You can't wait to join Blade, right?
Okay, Lynn, seriously, that's enough. We're not here to make a sales pitch. We just want you to have all the facts so you can make an informed decision to join us, or not. Now that you've seen where and how we work, hopefully it made a good impression, but your decision will be just that, your decision. In any case, let's head back to the barracks. Secretary Nagi will be waiting.
Get in there. Get in there.
Honey, we're home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment.
What in the hell are we waiting for?
As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone. Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part? I knew you'd make the right choice. Welcome to the organization. Elma, he can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
And so it was.
Now then, let's discuss that training assignment. We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called Frontier Nav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here, take a look at this.
Okay.
What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass.
The terrain map
As
that
you can
would
see,
show up
we've divided
on
the
the
area into a
gamepad.
series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments. Together, they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pattern, given the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go. Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The Frontier Nav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a blade or another citizen.
Yes, quite handy indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the east gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Emma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah! Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe!
Alright, and before we start Chapter 2, we'll go ahead and take our next intermission. I need to get up, stretch, and get some fresh air anyway. I'm kind of fading out because, you know, long day at work. But I'm looking forward to getting in some more action, and, you know, I'll definitely be playing a lot more of this off-stream anyway. But let's go ahead and take our next break. Grab yourselves a snack, but come right back. I'll see you all in a few. Alright. So, let's get in a little bit more game time here, shall we? Whew. Even after getting up to stretch for a little bit, I'm still, kind of ready to, wind down and just let the rest of the day go by. But, that's probably the reason why y'all are here, right? To wind down and let the rest of the day go by while we take in some good gaming. So let's get right back down to it. We're going to go get into some fights and go plant our first nav probe. Can I use the customization center yet? Damn it. Alright, here we go.
Man, am I glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time. It'd be a long walk all the way back over to the west gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigent activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business. One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigent butt, huh?
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Irina's team is one of our best.
How does he know Irina and Gwyn?
We ran into them just before we met up with you. They were on their way out to an assignment.
Well, then that settles it. It must have been them, right? Man, forget this amateur hour probe baloney. Those guys are where the action's at.
I'll try not to take that personally. But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
It's a
Roger.
good idea.
That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the East Gate, shall we?
That way. Map. Segments. Okay, looks like this is where we're gonna need to go.
Yes?
The town helper, aka Fix It Dude. At Fix It Dudette.
Open fire! Follow me!
Melee attacks! Sliding! Slinger! Nice! Move in and do some
Okay,
damage!
here comes the pain!
Appendage destroyed! Move in and strike!
Okay, here
Side
comes the
slash.
pain! Didn't see that coming. Gunner down!
Upper hand! Sliding! Slinger!
Damn it, drift around.
All right, it's on.
Engaging. Lay down fire. Slide. Slinger. Scream edge. Wow. Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here comes the pain.
Side flash.
Almost there. Need strength.
There we go. I just hope I don't run into that. I remember running into like a level, what was it, a 21 or an 81 monster.
Open fire. Follow me.
Target fire. Shadow strike. Nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay, here comes the
Scream
pain.
edge.
Wow! Appendage down! We can lay it!
Good idea. I'll cut him down to size.
Side flash. Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here comes the pain.
Slide. Slinger.
Victory is ours.
Let's keep it up!
It's true on any front.
We can do this.
Let's see what you've got.
Ask questions later!
Now it's my turn.
Assault hammer.
Wild down! Topple
Side flash.
Okay, here comes the
Right,
pain.
nice. Move in and do some damage. Scream edge. Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here comes victory is ours.
We got him. Let's move.
Oh. 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 This could be bad.
What the hell happened here?
That happened.
You don't think that one Sinicula could have killed all these simius?
Unless
Unless... what?
this is bad.
What's bad? I don't follow you.
That Sinicula. It's a tyrant.
Huh? But it looks just like any other Sinicula.
Think about it. Your typical simius is way higher up on the food chain than your typical Sinicula, right? Usually we'd find one simius standing over 3 or 4 Sinicula corpses. But here, the tables have been turned. And I don't see a single trace of any other indigents in the area. There's only one explanation. That Sinicula is a tyrant.
Let me check the Blade Report database. If there's a tyrant this close to the city, someone must have run across it. Bingo. There was a Sinicula tyrant sighted not too long ago, but it was a couple of segments further out.
It could have followed the blade that spotted it back towards New LA, or come here to feed, or who knows what.
That's crazy. I can't believe there's a tyrant right on our doorstep and HQ isn't doing a thing about it.
Well, don't forget why they sent us here in the first place. Frontier Nav's range is still limited.
Oh, right. They couldn't track it if there's no local probe. They must have lost it when it went off the grid. Whoa
we gotta do?
there, rookie. We're talking about a tyrant here. Do you even understand what that means?
We should probably explain. Tyrant is our term for any indigenous life form that falls outside of our usual threat ranking system. In other words, they're too powerful for us to even measure how dangerous they would be to take on.
And too powerful doesn't always just mean physically strong. If a creature has even a single especially nasty trait, it's classified as a tyrant.
Even some of Blade's very best teams have come back with serious injuries after running into a tyrant in the field. If they come back at all. As long as you understand the risks involved. Lynn?
Count me in. The same goes for everyone in New LA, but if we're gonna settle here on this planet, we're gonna have to get used to dealing with tyrants now and then. Besides, if I need to, I can always run away while it's busy chewing on one of you guys.
Fair enough.
Thanks for the vote of confidence,
But don't
Lane.
push it, okay? Either of you. If we can take it down, great, but if not, even just luring it away would be a moral victory. As long as we buy enough time to install the probe, we can use Frontier Nav to track it, or any other tyrant that comes this close to the city from now on. Just make sure you're ready before we attack. This will be tougher than anything else we've faced.
Okay. Double check a few things. 675. We're definitely going to need to put some road miles.
Shadow strike! Hanging down! Weaken him and let it!
Good idea.
Slinger!
I'll cut down the shot.
Side flex! Early bird!
All right, it's on.
Let's see what you've got.
Punch first! Ask questions later!
Okay, here comes the pain.
Fire Carnival!
spot! Open fire!
Target in sight! Wildcat!
Sidesman never loses. He got it. Let's move.
In the distant now, we're stuck on a whole different planet. No peace looking at the sky, trouble's always all around.
Right. Maxed out the drifter class. Classes more advanced than Drifter can learn skills which provide various effects, but just by being equipped. Different classes have different skills they can learn. Attaining rank 10 in any of the final stage classes allows you to master that class's weapons. Mastering those weapons allows you to use those weapons and any associated arts even when using a different class. Make sure I've got my gear ready to go. Got the dual swords, got the dual guns.
Alright, it's on.
Let's see what you've got.
Fire Carnival!
Shadow Strike! Sliding Slinger! Suck nice! Move in and do some damage! Shadow Runner!
Okay, here comes the pain!
West!
Upper hand!
Bring it down! You can lay it!
We can do this!
Let's they're off guard. Stagger them with a melee attack.
Fire Carnival!
Side slash! Slide! Move in and do some
Okay.
damage.
Here comes the pain!
Stream edge!
This team never loses!
Hope I didn't get in the way.
I'll get the jump on him. Attack up close.
Now, my turn. Slide! Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike. Side slash.
Fire carnival! Hit him again for me!
Early bird. Now, melee attacks.
Early bird.
That could have dented him. Move in and keep the rhythm going.
My foot got that.
We can do this.
Locked and loaded.
That
Fire
could have dented him.
carnival!
Move in and keep the rhythm going.
On it. Take this.
Side slash.
Didn't see that coming.
How tough.
Go. This team never loses.
Let's keep it up.
Nice. Oh, wow. Didn't say I was fading.
I'll get the jump on him. Attack up close.
Watch me lay into him.
Slide.
Fire carnival!
Move in and keep the rhythm going.
On it. Take this.
Wild down!
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike. Suck nice. Move in and do some damage. Slide.
Victory is ours.
We got him. Let's move.
We can do this.
Let's engaging. Lay down some fire for me.
I've got
Now,
cover fire.
melee attacks.
Okay. Here comes the pain. Now, close in and clean up.
Watch me lay into him.
Shadow strike.
Yes. Now get in close.
Slide nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay. Here comes the pain.
Scream edge. Side slash.
Never lose.
Hope I didn't get in the way.
There we go. And I got literally the two moves that Alma pretty much has been using right from the start.
I'll get the jump on him. Attack up close.
Now, melee attacks.
Okay. Here comes the pain.
Slide nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay. Here
Scream
comes the
edge
pain.
down! Weaken him and lay in! Fire carnival!
Yeah, you're on top of this
All
now.
right, you're in for it. Now, close in and clean up.
Upper hand. Sliding.
Victory is ours.
Hope I didn't get in the way.
Open fire! Follow me!
I've got your cover fire.
Shadow strike! Slide nice! Move in and do some damage.
Okay!
Wow!
Here comes the pain! Here's a good spot. Open fire! Alright, you're in for it.
Cover fire. I need it down. Weaken him and lay in.
Upper hand! Side slap!
This team never loses.
We got him. Let's move.
I'll get the jump on him.
It didn't
Attack
have
up
to be
close.
like this.
Watch me lay in.
Shadow strike!
Trash touch.
Fire! Strike destroyed! Move in and strike!
Flame blow.
Okay, here comes
I
the
owe you
pain.
one. Nice. Move in and do some damage.
Okay, here comes the pain. You didn't see that coming. Gun him down. All right, you're in for it. Damn, I need
I should
healing.
heal up first. Hostile neutralized. Switch to close range combat.
Don't worry, I'm all over this.
Now, melee attacks.
Yes. Hit him again for me.
Early bird.
On it. Take this.
Flame blow.
Yes, now getting close.
Watch me lay into it.
Primer. Nice. Move in and do some
Never
damage.
loses.
Let's keep it up.
Alright, let's get back. Let's get ourselves back down towards the main thoroughfare coming away from the city.
All right, it's on.
We
Let's
should
see what
weaken them
you've got.
just to be safe.
Shadow strike. Sliding slinger. Now, melee attacks.
Flash, bam.
What?
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay, here comes the pain.
Can't move. Sliding slinger.
Oh, those are level 10s. I may not be able to do much against them just yet.
We can do this.
Let's see what you've got. Engaging. Lay down some
I've got
fire.
your
Use an
cover
aura.
fire.
Get control of the battle. Shadow strike. Side slash.
Early bird.
Sliding back to intentional. Move in and keep the rhythm
On
going.
it. Take this.
Wow.
Yes. Now getting close.
Watch me lay into it. Flame blow.
I owe you
That's
one.
what I need.
Sorry. I can't seem to get fired up.
Hey, no pushing.
Side slap nice. Move in and do some damage.
I'm sorry, guys.
Shadow strike.
Damn it.
Now we're stuck on a whole different planet.
Oof, I wasn't paying attention and got knocked out.
All right, it's on.
Let's see what you've got. Engaging. Lay down some fire for me. Shadow strike.
Fire.
Side slash.
What?
Slide. Slinger. What?
Backslash.
Side slash.
Open fire. Follow me.
Targeting fire. Nice. Move in and do some damage.
Let me lay into it.
Shadow strike. Side slash.
Can't move. Victory is ours.
We got him. Let's move.
Okay, let's take a quick look here. There we go. Gotta love the fashion gear system on this.
We can do this.
Locked and loaded.
Oh, excuse me.
Shadow strike. Sliding slinger. Scream edge. What? Side slash. Side slash. Upper hand.
All right, it's on.
Let's see what you... They're off guard. Stagger them with a melee attack. Shadow Strike!
I'll send them for a loop.
Fire Carnival! Nice! Move in and do some damage.
Okay. Here comes the pain.
Wow, hang it down! We can lay it!
You didn't see that coming.
Early
Gun
bird.
her down.
Suck nice!
team never
Move in and
loses.
do some
Hope I
damage.
didn't get in the way.
Alright, we're gonna keep grinding, getting materials and experience until we're finally in a good spot to actually take that thing down.
We can do this.
Locked and loaded. We should weaken them just to be safe. Fire Carnival!
Shadow Strike! Sliding Slinger! Now, melee attacks!
Okay.
Side Slash!
Here comes the pain. Victory is ours.
Let's keep it up.
All right, it's on.
Locked and we should weaken them just to be safe.
Sliding Slinger!
Fire Carnival!
Shadow Strike! Nice! Move in and do some damage.
Okay. Here comes the pain.
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Now that's what I need. This team never loses.
We got him. Let's move.
All right, it's on.
Let's see what engaging. Lay down some fire for me.
Let's see him chew on this. Now, close in and clean up.
Fire Carnival!
Side Slash! Sliding Slinger!
I didn't see that coming. Gun him down.
I'll take them down!
That's
Victory is ours.
Move in and keep the
Hope I
rhythm
didn't get in
going.
the way.
That's right. If at first you don't succeed, grind again.
We can do this.
Let's see what you've got.
Here's a good spot. Open fire.
Target fire! Scream edge!
On it. Take this.
Nice. Move in and do
This
some
team
damage.
never loses.
Hope I didn't get in the way.
I'll get the jump on him. Attack
Now,
at once.
my turn. Slide!
Fire Carnival!
Side appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Okay. Here comes the pain.
Early bird.
See, and this is why I like the Commando class. Largely because I just like the dual guns.
Follow me.
Target in sight.
Fire Carnival!
Shadow strike. Side slash.
Wow, hang it down! Weaken them and lay it! Wildcat!
That's intense. Move in and keep the rhythm
Never
going.
loses.
We got it. Let's move.
And boosted bullets.
We can do this.
Let's engaging. Lay down some fire for me.
Let's see him chew on this.
Fire carnival!
Side splash! Slide knife! Move in and do some damage!
Okay, here comes the pain! Didn't see that coming. Gun him down! This team never loses!
Nice work.
This team never loses. Although we did lose once. Alright, be right back. Whew. Had to get up. Take a quick bathroom break, but that helped catch me the second wind. So, I like what I got right here.
I'll get the jump on him. Attack up
My
close.
turn.
Fire carnival! Yes! Hit him again for me!
On it. Take this.
Slide knife! Move in and do some damage!
Okay, here comes the pain.
Watch me lay it!
Victory is ours.
You're turning into a fine blade. I'm proud of you.
We can do this.
They're off guard. Stagger them with a melee
I'll
attack.
send them for a loop.
Fire carnival!
Side splash!
Wild lion!
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike. Shadow strike.
Okay, here comes the pain. Didn't see that coming. Gun him down. We can do this.
They're off guard. Stagger them with a melee attack.
I'll send them for a loop.
Fire carnival!
Side splash! Slide! Splinter!
Stretch shot! Bombardier! Ready? Get your adrenaline going!
Now I'm feeling it.
Strength comes from experience.
Wow!
Chew on it. Slide! Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike. Shadow strike.
Okay, here comes the pain.
See? You're going to be hearing it a lot as you play through this game, but it's still one of my favorite quotes here. And it's literally what Elma just said at the end of that fight. Strength comes from experience. That's true on anybody. see if we can't rush over here real fast. Stop off at the base camp. Oh, that's where the upgrade is. Oh, we're going straight this later. Oh, here we go. There's the commando ones. Let's see, agile gunslinger. Steady hand. Boosted bullets. So I like evasion. I like ranged attack. Let's go back to the arts real quick. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Ooh, it's already almost time to bring this to a close. Well, how about this? Let's save. And then we'll try and give the boss fight a shot. See how that works out. Attacks for 2 months, okay.
Did they see us?
Here we go.
Engaging. Lay down some fire for me.
Let's see him chew on this.
Hit him again for me!
Shadow strike. Sliding slinger. Scream edge. Side slash.
Now, close in and clean up.
Let's lay into it!
Oh yeah, head reach down.
Nice work, Lynn. You fought well. You did too. Now let's get down to business and install that data probe. If we stay here for long, there's no telling what other playmates might show up.
Heck yeah.
This beam of light indicates a frontier nav site. It marks the ideal spot to bury the probe.
Okay, the probe should be ready for insertion. I'll just boot it up.
And you see, that's why
Thanks,
I like
Lynn.
stuff like this and Skies of
The top half
Arcadia
of the cylinder
and
contains
Grandia.
the probe itself.
Because, you know, it's
The
going
bottom
on an
half
epic
is a
adventure.
laser. It dissolves the soil so the probe can burrow to the proper depth. We tried just planting them on the surface at first, but we kept running into problems with the local wildlife damaging the goods. Burying them is going to save us all a lot of time and headaches in the long run. We all set?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever you're ready.
Why don't you do the honors? You can launch it right from your comm device. Give it a try. Good. Now we just need to give it a minute to reach the target depth.
And installation complete. We are now online with a solid connection to Frontier Nav.
That's what's up.
Excellent. See? At the end of the day, there's really not much to it. The hardest part was calculating the ideal probe locations. We need them spread out evenly to maximize data collection.
Yep, planting probes is easy. And the more we plant, the more likely we are to find missing crew. So anytime you see a probe site, there's no excuse not to plant that sucker.
That'll do it for your training. Let's head back to the barracks and report to Secretary Nagi.
Alright, full camp the Pursuer. What did we get from you? There's results. Boom. Segment recon. So we got treasure there. There's a tyrant there. Vehicle wreckage there. Not much going on there at the moment. So here's what needs happening. Get back over here. Boom. And that takes care of that for tonight's stream, everybody. Whew. Man, that was a fun time. I'm glad y'all came to hang out with me for these last few hours, even with, you know, that part near the middle where I was kind of fading out. But hey, caught a second wind, caught a dope boss fight with some dope music, and a reminder of just how cool, how cool this game is. So, if you own a Nintendo Switch and you have not had the chance to give this game a shot, well, let me rephrase that. If you own a Nintendo Switch but haven't owned a Wii U and wasn't able to give this game a shot, please do so. Again, it's an epic adventure. It's sci-fi. It's the kind of sci-fi that you get from Star Ocean, but it's not quite Star Ocean. And of course, you know, you gotta love the vast worlds, the great visual design, the music, honestly, the way I see it, this is definitely a game to return to. Whether you've beaten it or not, you always want to make it a point to come back to this one. Hell, I'm going to be playing this even more off stream, so if I do stream it again, I will very much be either later in the game or at the very least later in the story. But anyways, let me go ahead and hit y'all with the daily reminder before we take off. And the reminder, I pretty much got it memorized. But look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's my piece of advice to you. Don't let anyone shoehorn you into a box. Alright? You as an individual, you're like KFC chicken, right? You know, good KFC ain't possible without the 12 herbs and spices. You've got a mixture of individual spices, experiences, interests, ambitions that are all your own. Don't let anyone just tell you that you're supposed to be one thing. You are a composite. You are an evolution from multiple sources. Embrace it and show the world just what you're made of. But anyway, so ends our broadcast week. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. Friday, we're going to take a break, get ourselves some rest. And Saturday, we're coming back for the Saturday sit-down, and we're probably going to have ourselves another cookout, too. I'll see what I decide to make. But until then, y'all have yourselves a great night, a killer Friday, and I will catch y'all back here on the next one. Until then, remember the 4 big rules of hanging out with your favorite Wookiee. Stay happy, stay hydrated, stay gaming, and as always, stay good, neighborhood. I'll catch you Saturday.